morning, guitar players. Hope everybody had some kind of a Thanksgiving. In 2020, we can't take anything for granted, so we just take what we can get. Anyway, I have a little laryngitis this morning. I feel much better than I sound, but I know I sound a little froggy, but here we are anyway, because it's Thursday morning, 9:45 a.m. Central Time. So it's time for my little Facebook Live mini guitar lesson. So glad you're here. Today we're going to take a look at this incredibly common chord progression and how to do some variations using it. But before we start having fun with that, let me remind you all that in the description there are some links you're going to want to check out. I think probably the single most important one is you're going to want to make sure that you are signed up for my free monthly newsletter, because it's free and it's only monthly and it's a newsletter. So how can you lose? What is in it? Well, timely information about classes that I offer. Usually once a month I do a Zoom class, which is so much fun on a variety of topics. We're taking a break for the holidays, but in January we're going to start up again with the songs of John Prine, who is nothing short of an American genius. Sadly, we lost him to COVID earlier this year, but we still have his songs, so we're going to learn a bunch of them, like Angel from Montgomery. I don't know which ones we're going to do. I'll figure it out later. But how can you sign up? Well, sign up for my newsletter and you'll be reminded of it, and there'll be a link to register when we're ready to do that. There's also a link to my website, just my YouTube channel, lots and lots of stuff there. Anyway, so what we did last week, no, not last week, it was Thanksgiving, so 2 weeks ago, we did this chord pattern, which is, I think, the most common chord pattern by a mile of the last, I don't know, bunch of years. And that's 1, 5, 6 minor, 4. And if you don't know the numbers, today's the day that you stop avoiding the numbers and start making friends with the number system. So 1, 5, 6 minor, 4, and in the key of G, which is kind of my default key, I guess, that's G, D, E minor, C. So you might go, wow, that reminds me of a song. It's like, yeah, it reminds me of like all the songs. So, almost all of them. So anyway, it's like, I mean, there's just a trillion. Let's not even list them. If you're interested and you missed our first one on this pattern from 2 weeks ago, of course, here on my Facebook page, you can scroll down and see the archive of all my past Facebook Live mini guitar lessons. So you want to go check that out. I put some examples in there. So what we're going to do today is take a look at the exact same chords in the exact same order, but nobody said that you have to start on the 1 chord. So in this case, nobody said you had to start on the G chord. It's kind of a natural default place to start, because after all, it is the 1 chord. It's the key you're in. So I would say more often than not, that's what we do. But let's say you play 5 songs, or you write 5 songs in a row that do that, and then you're like, okay, now I'm tired of that. What else can I do? Start on any of the other 3 chords. Let's remember the sequence. 1, 5, 6 minor, 4. So probably the second most common way of playing this progression is to start on the 6 minor. So to go like this. I think there's a Jason Aldean song, and the title escapes me. Something about the night. Anyway, I know that doesn't exactly narrow it down, but anyway, that's a super common thing to do. 6 minor, 4, 1, 5. 6 minor, 4, 1, 5. Okay? Now, are you allowed to start on any of the other chords? Heck yeah. So, you can start on your 4. 4, 1, love that. I didn't realize that was the exact same progression starting in a different point. It's like, So you see how this is like the gift that keeps on giving. Now, can you start on the 5? First of all, there are no rules. You can start anywhere you want. 5 is probably the least common place to start, but that's maybe a reason to check it out if you're getting tired of the more common variations. So, let's see. So that would be. What is that thing you're singing? It's like, I just yanked it out of thin air. This is what songwriters do. You just play something and you open your mouth and start singing and just see what happens. So the big idea with this progression is that, first of all, you've been hearing it for a long time and it's kind of everywhere. And you can start with any one of these 4 chords and then just follow through the loop. And it's going to sound good. It's actually kind of hard to screw it up, like maybe even impossible, because no matter where you start, it's going to sound good. So the big thing you want to remember is 1, 5, 6 minor 4, and are you allowed to mix them up together if you're a songwriter? Well, heck yeah. So you can go, here's my verse, I'm telling you a story, it's kind of sad. I lost my voice. And then when you get to your chorus, do it a little different because it's your chorus. Hey, songwriter, we don't want you to bore us. Clearly, I just made that one up too. All right, anyway, I hope that gives you some ideas, little food for thought. Can you play it in other keys? Heck yeah. Can you play it with other grooves? Of course. So we'll talk more about other things you can do and with this progression and change it up. Since we hear it everywhere, how come all those songs don't sound exactly the same? Because there are other things you can mess with. The rhythm, the timing, the melody, that's huge. You can write a bazillion melodies on top of that same chord progression. Anyway, we'll talk more about some of that going forward. Don't forget to sign up for my monthly newsletter. You definitely want to be in the newsletter club. And hey, guitar lessons and guitar classes for that matter make a fabulous holiday gift. So if that's something you're interested in finding out more about, send me an email. And meanwhile, stay in the groove, and I will see you next Thursday, I hope, every Thursday morning. Why not? Just a little nugget of guitar goodness. All right, y'all. See you later.